coming now, sir. I'm coming. All right, I'm coming right now. All right, no sweat. Testing 1, 2. Audio. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing. What am I? Hopefully, don't do this to me. There we go. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
Okay, debate Coliseum, where crying is not allowed. If you can talk the talk, this the HOK debate Coliseum, where crying is not allowed. If you can talk the talk, then walk the walk.
Welcome to the danger zone, save your own, make it known. You here to take the throne by intellectually breaking bones. Unveil the secrets of ancient Rome, take it back and bring it home, cause information is not to remain unknown. You think you got what it takes to rock in the Coliseum? They put restraints on our minds, man, we gotta free them. With gladiator fights, man, it was crunch. The Coliseum is the place where the animals hunt. You little chat rat, always in the back chat, talking this and that. Step in the Coliseum, a bad bet. I eat the lunch right out your knapsack. Take the king for his diamonds. The ace of spade is a blackjack. This is more than a rap track. It's y'all letter. Vespasian got nothing on Emperor Sarnetta. And never mind them other YouTube channels. This what you call better. You better call never. Step into the Coliseum.
We done stepped in the debate Coliseum. HOK on the tube. Sarnetta, he's the leader. Got no pause, she's the queen, but she's still a fire breather. When you step in the ring, come correct her. She gon' reach you to the Nas, never lax. He gon' hit you with the facts. Torah nights in the building, so we gotta run it back. For the debate, pick a date, call them out, don't wait. When you bringing out the truth, haters coming with the hate. Time to step into some knowledge, but it's nothing like your college. Debate Coliseum, bringing scholars up tomorrow. We got Hebrews and Christians, Muslims and Indians, abos and scientists, atheists and comedians. It's all love with the beef big, conversational arguments. You was judge and jury, so we come together like parliament. It's the house of consciousness, bring your source, we following. HOK debate Coliseum, bring your scholarship.
Toughest environment in the Coliseum. Welcome to the HOK debate Coliseum. That's word to Sarnetta. Our sword remains sharp and theirs all severed. Toughest environment, you know we gotta see them. Till they head falling off into the Coliseum. Don't they know it's that HOK? Source up, a man down, DOA. Seen plenty of them crawl in the center of it all. Can't stand on your square, the sinner's gon' fall. Acting brand new, we more brand Nubian, Julian. One scene of our own brings Jehudian. Linked with Ampu, arms horizontal. Building with my eye on the horizon beyond you. It's the judgment now, and we the trio. Warrior poets who get the flowing like the griots. Grab you by your neck, choke slam you through the peephole. For banging on the house of consciousness. People, we here. I said we here. But did you hear? Toughest environment, we gotta see them. Welcome to the HOK debate Coliseum. I said we here. But did you hear? Toughest environment, we gotta see them. Welcome to the HOK debate Coliseum.
Toughest environment to be in, and we're busting pinatas.
All right, once again, we are black. We are back. But anyway, Sanchez, let's turn that camera on, brother. Let's get this thing going. Man, this is it. Enough of the tough talk. We are in the building, the toughest environment to be in, the debate Coliseum. Nepal, I hope you sent Judah Naz the link so he can see what's going on. Make sure Judah Naz is in the building. Captain pulling out that hard liquor. Hey, Sanchez, he got that hard liquor for you, bro. Look at him. It's on.
This brother already, you drinking before the debate? Okay, okay.
Oh man. But anyway, it's on and popping today, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Sanchez. Thank you, brother Captain Tazaryach, for coming through. And of course, I am your host and moderator for this debate, Captain Tazaryach. Let me put this title up there so everybody can know what's going on and what is the title of this debate, so there can be no mistakes. All right. The title of this debate. Here we go. Bro Sanchez. And Sanchez is the challenger. Am I correct in this?
Yeah, but I didn't mind if he wanted me to go first. I didn't mind
Okay.
going first.
Are the Hebrews the black face of manifest destiny? If y'all don't know what that means, brother Sanchez is going to break all of that down for you. Captain Tazaryach is here, and we're going to go in, man. This is going to be one that y'all don't want to miss right here. And so how we going to do this? We're going to break it down like brother Sanchez in 5-minute opening. I'm giving you both of you 5 minutes opening. We're going to have 2 10-minute rounds. And then the third round is going to be the back and forth. I'm going to let y'all go in back and forth, and then 5-minute closing, and then we are out of here. So we're going to get this in early so we can have the rest of our day. And is that good? Are there any questions from either one of y'all brothers?
No,
I'm good with that. Yep. I think
okay. All right.
So we're good to go.
All right. Let me get this clock set up and let's get this thing started.
Sanchez, you was cool with me going first?
well, I'm the challenger, so I wanted to kind of let you know why I chose.
Yeah, that's why I
the
said it's up to
title
you. Yeah, I didn't have a problem.
Yeah, I wanted to go first if that's all right with you. Now, if you
No,
just
that's fine.
wanted to go first, I'll be nice and but yeah,
No. I was good because you was the challenger. It was really your option. So I was offering to go first. But if you say you want to go first, you can go ahead and go first.
Yeah, that way I can lay the premise for why I chose the title, all that and stuff. So
okay, that's fine.
That's powerful. Let me get this. Hold on. When you hear this sound, that's your time. Or you might hear the music coming in. That's your time. All right. That's the time right there. All right. Time will start when you start, Sanchez. This is your 5-minute opening. You got the floor, brother.
what is manifest destiny? Manifest destiny originated in the 19th century, yet the concept behind the phrase originated in the 17th century with the first European immigrants in America, the English Protestants and Puritans. The word manifest destiny is the concept of American exceptionalism. That is the belief that that America occupies a special place among the countries of the world. It is the belief that all of the lands that the colonialists conquered and captured, it was God's will that they conquer those lands because those people were evil. Those people didn't worship the true God. They will have different reasons to why those people fell out of favoritism of God. So it's basically an ideology which held that the United States, and not just United States, different countries have their form of it, but that colonialists have a divine right to expand their empire. At the time, they was trying to expand it westward. And this was influenced by the Bible's themes of a chosen people and a promised land. All right. And also, just another way you can look at it, it is the belief in the inherent superiority of white Americans, as well as the conviction that they were destined by God to conquer the territories of North America from sea to shining sea. Now, this is what they teach. But what the Hebrews teach is that the reason our people are oppressed is because we was disobedient. That means that everything that the white man doing to us, that the colonizer doing to us, that's our fault for being disobedient. If I was a white colonizer, I would love a black group that's teaching something like that, because that'll wash my hands cleaner to say, hey, man, y'all want to stop being oppressed, right? It's something you guys did that's the root of your oppress. So you don't got to rise up against the white man. Guess what you got to do? Work on yourself. Now, you can't work on yourself because the oppressor has and I don't want to go too deep into my arguments right now. I'm going to show you why it's a contradiction. But I just wanted to open up and give you a explanation of everybody was wondering why I chose the title, that the Hebrews are the black face of manifest destiny. I believe that if a white man tried to say the stuff that a Hebrew saying, he probably get beat up, especially if here in New York somewhere, in Harlem somewhere. Because check it out, right? Imagine a white man saying, black people, the reason you hanging on them trees, your babies was tossed to alligators, the reason you was castrated and lynched in the street is because you didn't follow the orders of God. That's your fault. If a white man say that to a bunch of black people, it'll hit different. That's why I said if the Hebrews do it as black men, it's totally fine. But if you imagine a white man saying that, we would say, bro, that's racist. That's manifest destiny. And it is. It's manifest destiny. This is just a simple opening. I'm going to expound more on my opening throughout the debate to double down on why the Hebrews are the black face of manifest destiny. Thank you.
You have 2 minutes and a half left.
Okay, I'll use those 2 minutes to say that I'm going to prophesy that Tazaryach throughout the debate is going to try to bring up a bunch of things that the Hebrews doing in the community, which is neither here nor there when it comes to the debate title. I hope he listened to what I told him. I told Tazaryach why I chose that debate title. I chose it because they teach that the black people are the cause of our own oppression. You're blaming the victim instead of the victimizer. I'm sure y'all brothers do good things in the streets. I'm not saying that you pushing quite manifest destiny because of your actions. I'm saying you're pushing it through your speech, through your message. You're giving the slave master a way to be scotch-free on it and putting the blame all on the victim instead of the victimizer. And I'm like I said, I'm going to expound on this too and show y'all the hypocrisies and contradictions. But I'm going to tell you, Tazaryach not going to deal with that. And that's why he going to lose the debate. And I'm telling you now why I know I'm going to win this debate. He should have never chose this title, y'all. Even if you Captain Tazaryach friend, I'm sure you told him, why the hell did you choose that title? I was shocked when he agreed to it. Now, and you're going to see why throughout this debate. There's no way he can win. And when I win, I will let it be known, mainly it was due to him choosing that title. I'll admit that. This title was a trap for you, dog, from the jump.
All right, man. Sanchez opened up for 5 minutes, Captain. I'm coming right over to you. The time will start when you start talking. You got 5 minutes in this opening round.
Hey, sorry, quick question. Can we present screen in the 5 minutes, or we just talking? I'm cool either way.
You can present the screen if you want to. If that's how you want to open up with your 5 minutes.
I just want to show three slides.
Okay.
I just want to present first, and then you know what? I'll do it without presenting because I'll be like him. So I'm gonna go ahead and start now. So I'm not gonna share my screen. All right.
All right. Let's go.
All right. He's right when he said, my friend said, what made you choose this debate? He's just wrong with what they said. Because all of them feel like this is a weed conversation. All of them feel like this is a cat that is clearly only on the internet only and not outside. For you to pick a title, so we look up the term blackface. Blackface in its definition says a dark makeup worn to mimic the appearance of a black person and especially to mock or ridicule black people. The wearing of blackface was by white performers was from the early 19th through the mid 20th centuries, a prominent feature of minstrel shows. And I'm going to show this in my presentation too. It says a similar forms of entertainment featuring exaggerated and inaccurate caricatures of black people. The use of blackface is considered deeply offensive. The minstrel part says a member of a type of performance troupe caricaturing black performers that originated in the U.S. in the early 19th century. And then when we look up Manifest Destiny, it says, and this is just a piece, it's going to get ugly. It says in the U.S. history, the supposed inevitability of the continued territorial expansion of the boundaries of the United States westward to the to the Pacific and beyond. So it had nothing to do with the 13 colonies. It's about expanding westward, and we're going to get deep into it. Before the American Civil War, the idea of manifest destiny was used to validate continental acquisitions in the Oregon country of Texas, New Mexico, California. So when we get into this manifest destiny, you'll see why this is one of the dumbest titles I've ever had to entertain. And because I agreed to the battle and let him pick the battle, I picked whatever title he wanted. So he would have to show the other part where he's going to be wrong at when he said we're going to talk about work that we do. I am going to talk about what we do on the streets, but here's a quick example. When we're out in the streets, we've never gotten to an argument when we say black people are in the condition for their wickedness. We've never gotten that. We've never gotten the argument and said we getting destroyed because we're drug dealers, we're aborting our babies, we're living alternative lifestyle. The arguments that we get into is when we start blaming the white man. When we start blaming the white man for the crimes that that he's done to us, then black people fight us. When we bring out the Jewish man is not a Jew, then we get more problems with it. So we've never had this argument of why are y'all victim blaming? Victim blaming, YouTube people say. People on the street never call us victim blaming because we're known. I was just yesterday with DC Young Fly, Moneybag Mafia in Newark, New Jersey. They had a stand-up comedy. And when we walk into those arenas and when we walk into those events, the amount of respect we get, and the first thing they always say is, brother, we appreciate the work that you're doing. Because nobody that's outside will ever call us the black face of manifest destiny. They actually call us their liberators. They say, thank you for opening my eyes so I could see who we were. Because once you get an identity, you're forced to understand the root of the problem, the cause of the problem, and the fix of the problem. The root of the problem is disobedience to God. The cause of the problem is because we love to sin. The cure is repentance. And once you repent, we don't have them problems no more. You want to fix the black community, as I always say, put an Israelite and let them lead every community. You won't see the murders. You won't see the drug abuse. You won't see the broken homes. You won't see abortions. You won't see homosexuality. You won't see all the crimes. And if I was to be specific, because this is probably the most important part, put a member of ISUPK type of Israelite in the community, because I can't speak for every Israelite. I can't speak for Israelites that justify underage girls, that justify loving white people. I can't speak for those Israelites. But for me and my house, we are not the black face. So I can't wait to go knee deep into what manifest destiny is and how we are not the black face. So with that, I yield my time.
All right, you still got 30 seconds.
I'm cool, sir.
30. All right. All right, we're going to head right into the first round, which is 10 minutes. Brother Sanchez, you got 10 minutes in this first round. Time will start when you're ready. You going to share your screen?
I will eventually, but not quite yet.
Okay. Let me know. When do y'all want me to let you know when it's half? Like 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes?
Yeah, you can let me know at the 2-minute mark, like
okay.
Basketball, 2-minute warning.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm fine. You can do the same with me, sir.
Now, I could do this. That means that's the first bell. That's in there. 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
That way I don't want to have to talk over y'all and make y'all stop. You know, like y'all can keep going. You hear that first bell, that means you got 2 minutes left.
Okay.
All right, so let's get it. Let's start. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
He said manifest destiny had nothing to do with the 13 colonies. I know, Sarnetta, a lot of your people don't like me, but they got to admit that he's wrong about that. The 13 colonies were built with the idea of manifest destiny in mind. They called themselves colonies because they were colonizers. We didn't have colonies. We're tribal people. These are the colonial people, the pilgrims. who come to people land settling, and over time they bankrupted and take everything. They come with their Bible, but when they leave, they have the land and we have the Bible. I want to be honest here. I don't want to talk about what the Hebrews do in the street, because I never went against those brothers. I don't know them like that to be judging their actions. In a debate in the HOK, we have a title, and we honor the title by sticking to it and making arguments about the title. I'm booting up, suiting up, telling him he's the black Hebrew Israelites are the black face of manifest destiny. He should really spend his time defending that from the context that I'm speaking it in, because I never said y'all ain't doing a good thing in the streets. I said y'all saying a bad thing in the streets, which is blaming the people that you trying to raise up as the root of their oppression. And I think that when I said blackface, you thought about a racist gesture, but that ain't what I mean by blackface. I think y'all need to point that out to the Tazaryach. He's starting off real bad. He's starting off bad. I'm not talking about blackface, right? I know what blackface is. I'm talking about you being the black face of a white agenda. All right. Now check this out. Let me get right into my arguments with the debate title so I don't let him deflect and try to get me on anything else. So check this out. I'm not going to talk about being on the internet, being outside and all that, because that's a waste of time. I'm here to talk about them being the black face of manifest destiny. And I'm not going to waste too much time trying to go into nothing that don't matter or going to help me with the debate title. So that was a fail. He misunderstood blackface. And let me go ahead and go into this, right? He's going to say he's trying to change black people and get us out of these conditions by raising brothers up, getting them on a good path. But if his God is favoring the oppressor, because think about this, they teach that the oppressor got the upper hand because God gave the oppressor the upper hand over us because we was disobedient. So God is favoring the oppressor in this position by giving him the upper hand and by placing him over us. So if your God is placing the oppressor in this oppressive position over you, your God is giving your God is making it so that your people are addicted to drugs, violence, all these other demon time activities. That's their punishment because they turned away. If God, that means that it's God's will for that brother to be smoking crack. Why? Because God punishing his people right now. They turned away. So God letting them engage into activities that they would engage into if they were under the oppression of evil people, right? So, and that's exactly what's going on. That makes me ask the question, why would God choose evil people to punish us for doing evil? That don't make no sense. Watch this, right? When Tazaryach say he's trying to get brothers off drugs, he got to remember what they say on how the brothers got on drugs. When God appointed the oppressor over us because we weren't doing right, the oppressor got us hooked on drugs. The oppressor got us into gangs and all kind of stuff for self-destruction. And you know, when you try to get a brother off drugs, you actually working against the will of your God. If it's God that's punishing us by letting the oppressor keep us oppressed, anything you do to stop the oppression is like you're working against your God because he's favoring your oppressor right now. And then, so this is one of the hypocrisies I want you to deal with, right? If God is empowering your oppressor, you're not more powerful than your God, are you? So you're working against the will of your God. The people who've always served, and let me make sure I'm on point with my notes here. So God used the white man to punish blacks, but Captain Tazaryach told me the reason God, I say, why would God be mad at the white people if he told them to punish us because we was being bad? Captain Tazaryach said God mad because they punished us too much with no mercy. So God wanted them to punish us. God just didn't want us to beat us too bad. God wanted us to have a medium rare ass whooping. He didn't want it well done. So when they showed up with that medium rare ass whooping, God said, I ordered well done. God was mad, like, hey, you gave me well done. And I told you well done. You showed, God told them medium rare. They showed up with well done ass whooping. So God got mad. That's why I tell parents, if you want to do something, you got to do it yourself if you want it done right. Because if you think about this whole thing that the Hebrews talking about, right? Check this out, right? Let me point something out to you because I got my notes here. God is like a parent that says, my children was disobedient, so I'm gonna let a stranger break into the house and torture my children. That's what God did. My children weren't doing what I said, so I'm gonna let strangers from a whole nother land, foreigners, come and punish them, even though the foreigners were more evil than them. Now, what kind of a parent will let some strangers discipline their children? And if the strangers abuse your kids, that's your fault. You're a bad parent. You beat your own children. You don't leave no responsibility of discipline your kids in somebody else's hands if you're a good parent. Ain't nobody putting their hands on my children but me, because people will abuse your kids nowadays, and that's your fault for letting somebody else beat your children. So God can't get mad. God should have disciplined his own children instead of letting evil people do it. And if his God is all knowing, his God should have known what these folks was going to do. How his God acting shocked when he all knowing? Hell, I knew what they would do if you let them oppress us. We know who they are, right? Which segues into my other point. Why would you let people that's more evil than us punish us for being evil? This is just my start, y'all. Imagine how hard this gonna get for him throughout the show. I ain't come to play today. Watch this, right? He can talk about whatever he wants. I'm going to stick to the debate topic and win this thing. I told him he shouldn't have chose the title, but he's not going to stay on the title because he know that that title is a death sentence. Check this out, right? The people, check this out. So you said God going to destroy our Hebrews. Oh, you know what? This is why I want to screen share for my 2 minutes. Because Captain Tazaryach told me in a stream that the Hebrews, when they say white, they not talking about the skin tone. They talking about who your daddy is. So my question to him is, when them white folks is kissing their feet, do they ask them who their daddy is first, or do they just go by white skin? When they say that this white devil gonna be destroyed and God gonna slay this white man, are they going to do a tally on everyone's genetics? They're not. Now here is General Yohana. I'm gonna play this. God hate white people, but he using them to beat up the people he love. God using the people he hate to discipline the people he love. And they more evil than us. He said that Hebrew Israelites don't deal with skin tone. What was General Yohana talking about when he said God hate white people? He didn't do no genetic test to see who their daddy was. So y'all do generalize and use colorism, and you accuse me of that in our pre-debate. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you right now because I want you to address all this. I want to give you something to address to keep you on topic, because this is what you need to be worried about. Your career depends on it right now. You chose the title. Stick to it. So, like I said, their God is even going to defeat the white man with thermonuclear weapons, and that's the white man's technology. Ain't that something? God can't even use his powers to defeat these folks. He got to use the technology they made. Is that my time?
Yeah, that's time. See, this is why I say this is a tough debate. It should have been 15-15. I know what I be talking about. 10 minutes will go by like it ain't nothing. Captain, your 10 minutes will begin when you start. You want to put your screen up?
Hey, Si, I'm gonna share my screen real quick,
Yes.
excuse me, real quick, just to play a video, and then I'm gonna stop sharing and then share my PowerPoint. All right.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a pause at that point. All right.
Oh yeah,
But
Another thing,
can I
y'all
just
let
wait
me
till he
know when
sits
you
back
want.
down because he keep getting
Yes,
back up.
I
He
was
need
going
to
to
see
say
this
that.
ad. Yeah, he need to see this ass whooping.
I was going to say that, and
I'm
for
not gonna
any
say
time
anything
y'all
till he
need
comes
me to
back.
stop, right? That's cool. Sanchez, we waiting on you to get back.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, for any
All right,
time
so
y'all need me to stop your time, let me know. Brother Captain, you got the floor.
All right, I'm gonna just share my screen real quick. I just want to put this video because he said something real slow. This is gonna. I'm gonna wait till I share it. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I see it.
All right, I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna stop it, talk, and then when I'm ready to share my screen again, I'll let you know, Si. But you
All
can
right,
start my
time
time
will
once I
start
play.
as soon as you start this video.
All right. Now I'm gonna stop aside. Now the reason I wanted to show that because he said something so stupid. He said that we don't ask people if hold on, that we don't ask people if their father's white or what their ethnicity is. That was 4 days ago where I was debating a white guy. He came in there with the whole I'm black, he's white. And the first thing I asked him was what was his ethnicity? Also, when he brought out the 13 colonies, he clearly don't know history. So I'm gonna go into that in a second. So I just want to share my screen. And he made an excellent point. Hold on, let me come over here. I just want to share my screen, so I'm not going to teach. I'm just going to wait till I share my screen.
Let me hold your time.
Appreciate it. So let me go to, where's my PowerPoint? Oh, I got to scroll a little bit to get to window, PowerPoint. Let me know if you can see that.
I see it. Your screen is sharing.
Okay, now I want to make before you start. I just want to make sure I put it. I want to put it in presentation. Hold on, slideshow. Let me see it from the beginning. Okay, can you see it now?
It ain't in presentation mode. You still got those sides on the side.
Hold on, let me try because it's I think it's going to a different window. Hold on 1 second. Let me just share a different window. Hold on, present. Share screen, window. I think now you see it that way, right?
Yes, all right. Yes, it's up there and it's good.
All right, no sweat. Now at some point I may stop this. I'll just let you know, and then we can go forward. All right. So now,
You
of
ready?
course, everybody. Yep, I'm ready. So everybody sees the title. It says, "Are the Hebrews the blackface and manifest destiny?" So I already gave the definition of blackface, which he niggerized, not even understanding the point. He has to show if we're the blackface of something, we have to imitate it. So we would have to be imitating and trying to establish our manifest destiny the way that they are. That's what blackface would be. When they blackface by putting on a blackface and acting black. That's what they did. They acted black. Like Tropic Thunder is a good example of that. Funny movie. Robert Downey Jr. put on blackface, and he was so good at being black, you thought he was a nigga at the end of it. Then we got Manifest Destiny. So now let's do some little research on this. I already gave y'all the blackface definition. Let's look. I gave y'all the Manifest Destiny. Now, before we get here, I want to show y'all something, right? You have the doctrine of discovery. This is the origin of manifest destiny. That's why I said the 13 colonies wasn't where they got manifest destiny from. They got this long before the doctrine of discovery. And remember, he has to show how we're the blackface of this, not his niggerized version of what he thinks manifest destiny is. The doctrine of discovery in 1455, and then again in 1493, the Pope claiming dominion over the entire world issued statements which gave European rulers the sanction to colonize the Christian world. This ain't in the Bible. Because even if he says that they say God sanctioned it, he has to show in the Bible where God sanctioned them to colonize the Christian world. When I say that, he has to show book, chapter, verse. Speaking as God's representatives on earth, the popes anointed these rulers and their representatives and sanctified them to claim anything not discovered already by Christian rulers. The God of the Bible said that the land of Israel is the motherland. That's the homeland. That's the land of the covenant. So he has to show in the Bible that we're emulating and making another land that. Very simple. He got to show that. He's not going to show this. I'm going to go to the next one. It says U.S. legal doctrine is based on the doctrine of discovery. Now we know manifest destiny is not their own thing, but based on the doctrine of discovery. It says, for example, in 1835, Tennessee Supreme Court case, Tennessee versus Foreman rule, the principle declared in the 15th century the law of Christendom that discovery gave title to assume sovereignty over and to govern the uncontroverted natives of Africa, Asia, North, South America. He has to show how we're the black face of this. Not the black face of telling black people it's your fault for the condition that we're in. That's not what the white man did for blackface. Excuse me, for manifest destiny. He went out, raped, murdered, and pillaged. So he has to show that we're doing that. That's the title. The title is not your niggerized version. I'm going to go to the next slide. We'll go to the next slide. Colonization, crusades, the new world. Another root of the doctrine of discovery, now we're going deeper than manifest destiny. Manifest destiny is the last trifecta. Another root of the doctrine of discovery, the lie in the crusades. A long series of religious wars spanning a period of 600 years that are from 1095 to 1699 that have left a deep mark on Western thinking. This is the root of manifest destiny. This right here. When the crusades went out to conquer, and it says when Pope launched the first crusade to compel Christians to conquer Jerusalem, a land settled by and ruled by Muslims for centuries, imperialist cry was God wills it. So now he's saying God willed him to get other Christians to go conquer Jerusalem and fight Muslims. He has to show where Jesus Christ said to do so. He has to show that they do it. As Christians remodel, it even says it in the history, Christians remodel a theological edifice built on Jewish foundations. They adapted the concept of the chosen people. So now they're adapting the concept of chosen people, but what they're adapting is not in the Bible. So if he can't show in the Bible, he for sure can't show how we're the blackface of it. I'm going to keep going. It says by the end of the Middle Ages, the word crusade had come to refer to all wars undertaken on God's behalf. Crusading God, commanding all Christians to wage preemptive war, became a controlling idea because people must be evil, controlled by the devil to oppose the will of God. The non-Christian enemy was always deemed intractable and had to be exterminated for the safety of the community. Hey, can you pause my time, sir? I think it's disingenuous for my opponent to keep getting up in the middle of my round because I don't want what I'm saying to not be heard. I'm never going to move from this seat.
I'm right here.
It's disrespectful. Just like the camera can't go off, we should have to sit in our seat. I'm not going to say anything about the debate until you get back in your seat, nigga. Sit down. Thank you. Now you can start my time.
I was hearing you. I was hearing you.
Doesn't matter. It's disrespectful. Any people judged barbarian, not civilized, i.e. Christian standards, was subject to colonization for the same reasons. Christ said to go and teach the nations and baptize them, teach them what Christ taught. And Christ never said to murder in his name. He would have to show that. Because if he's saying we're copying, manifest destiny is when they murdered in the name of the God they said they believed in. So he has to show that in the Bible. Then he has to show we're the blackface of it so that we're doing the same thing. What he's saying we're doing is victim blaming is not manifest destiny. And we're not even victim blaming. But victim blaming is not manifest destiny, nor is it blackface. It's not neither one. You almost could call it bitch made if you said we was victim blaming, in the sense that if all we're doing is blaming each other, well, you know, we the reason why we did it and we don't offer no solutions. Now we're more suckers. But you can't say it's the blackface or manifest destiny. That's what you're going to have to show. Let me see. Now we get to manifest destiny was the manifest destiny was the continuation of the doctrine of discovery. So in their history, they tell you, starting with the Crusades, starting with the doctrine of discovery, is how you get to manifest destiny. That's why I said it had nothing to do with the 13 colonies, because it existed before the 13 colonies. It existed since the Crusades happened. So now, how do you explain what the white man did? Hold up, let me go back. How do you explain what the white man did? Now I will read the Bible. So now if I go to 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God. This is the birth of the Crusades. This is the birth of manifest destiny. This is the birth of the doctrine of discovery, that this white man will come and oppose himself against all that is called God or that is worship, so that he, as God in the temple of God, showeth himself to be God. Now we're showing in the Bible where it's identifying who would the son of perdition be. And why is that important? Because as we go out on the streets, he made a point to say he ain't gonna talk about nobody in the streets because he's not in the streets. Then talked about what we did on the streets. He used the boot kiss as an example and what we say on the streets as an example, but he's not going to talk about the streets. So if we go out on the streets, the biggest question that cannot be solved is, how did black people get in this condition and how they get out of this condition? I'm gonna stop sharing just for 1 second, but I don't think you got to stop the screen, because I'll just gonna read these scriptures now. So he said about the Lord punishing. Ezekiel 33 and 11 says, say unto them, as I live, saith the Lord, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked. This is what God said. I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn ye from your evil ways. For why will ye die, O house of Israel? It's just like any father. Any father does not want to punish their kids, but if their kids continue to be wicked, they'll be punished. So what we as Israelites do, go out and point our wickedness that we're doing. The white man, if he juggles crack in your face, does not create the pipe, form the pipe, light the pipe, and make you smoke it. You choose to do it. And we don't want to be accountable as black people. We want to blame everybody else except ourselves. And that's the difference between us and them. I believe that's my time, right, Si?
You have 30 seconds.
Oh, no sweat. And that's the difference between us and them. The difference between black people and Israelites is black people have no problem saying, you know what? We should have never sold drugs. If the white man puts the drugs in our face every day, do we have to sell drugs? No. If the white man put guns and drop guns in the black communities like he do in Chicago, do we have to pick them up and shoot each other? No. If the white man legalized abortion, does that mean we have to abort our babies? No. We don't have to live up to their vices. We choose to.
All right. Okay. Brother Sanchez, we moving right up into your second round, brother.
Let's
right up in your second round. If y'all need another round, it's up to y'all. Y'all can agree to another round, a third round, and then we can continue. All right. Time will start when you're ready. Are you sharing screen, Sanchez?
Not yet.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you need me to stop your time.
Okay, so I'm going in now. So
All right.
Tazaryach lost this debate because he's not paying attention to the context of the title. I'm not talking about blackface, paint your face black and cooning, but he keep doing that. When I say that a black face of manifest destiny, it means they are black men that are saying something that a white man can't say. They do that all the time in politics. When the racist white folks want to say something to us that's racist, they will get a black face to do it and we'll accept it under the black face. We know that tactic. When I say they the black face of manifest destiny, I don't mean they going out there painting their face doing blackface. Come on, man. I'm saying y'all are the face of something. Y'all pushing some to our people that these people can't push to us directly themselves. And I'm finna destroy your whole argument about we don't got the smoke the drugs that he drop off. We don't got to shoot the guns he drop off. I agree with all that. My only thing was, you said that your God don't got no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but he wished that they would turn away from their sins and they wouldn't be getting oppressed like that. I'm saying that the people that's oppressing us, why won't God punish them too? I'm not arguing with you. If these people over us are so evil that they dropping off drugs in the street, you don't got to use them. But my thing is, why is God punishing us through these people and not these people? Because them dropping the drugs off is an act of evil. You trying to harm somebody. But God ain't never punishing a white man for his wrongdoing. The white man don't got to be good moral wise in order for him to manifest his destiny. He just got to have a strong ass army. While we teach our people, we got to be good moral wise before we can make it out of our oppression. When I believe black people are the best moral wise than white people. We don't have armies to go around the world annihilating women and children. I can tell you right now that this U.S. military got more blood on their hands than black men and black women. So when you talk about who's the most evil, they are. So how they get to be in the position of the disciplinaries? Why would God put the most evil people in a disciplinary seat? That's my thing. I know we got to take accountability. I'm with you on that. I'm saying, but dang, God got to be equal too. If God gonna punish us for smoking weed and smoking crack, God should punish them for dropping it off too. And that's when, it shouldn't be a one-way street with punishment. It seems God's only gonna punish his own people and nobody else. And I know what you're gonna say. Well, if I'm a parent and I got kids, I'm just gonna whoop my kid. It's up to them to punish their kids. That's what you're gonna hit me with. As if everybody in the world isn't a result of God's creation, which will make them all his kids. And if you say, well, the white man ain't God's children, so why would he punish them? Because they beating on his children. You said out of your own mouth, Tazaryach, that the white man activated God's wrath because he started to punish us too severely with no mercy. So that's when God ought to step in and whoop them and do something about it, instead of just let him keep mercilessly punishing us. You see what I'm saying? Because my thing is, if it ain't God's children for him to punish, he still ain't pleased with them punishing his children mercilessly, so he still should intervene. You're trying to make an excuse for why God shouldn't be holding them accountable like he's holding us. And that's manifest destiny mindset. You said that manifest destiny had nothing to do with the 13 colonies because it existed before it. That don't mean it ain't have nothing to do with it. That mean that the people that started them colonies already had the mindset that when they got in the United States, they was going to expand their territory across North America, spreading democracy and capitalism. And guess what happened? They ended up taking over. See, they use manifest destiny to justify the forced removal of Native Americans and other groups from their homes, and to validate continental acquisitions in the Oregon country, Texas, New Mexico, California. Can't forget about our black people down there in New Orleans and Florida, the Seminole, all these people. What I'm saying is that manifest destiny allowed the 13 colonies to expand from the East Coast to the West Coast in America. They did that. Manifest destiny is a mindset. It's a mindset that says my destiny must be manifested because it's the will of God. That's all it is. You're making it something it's not. You have no idea what I mean by you being a black face of something, and you have no idea what manifest destiny is, because you said manifest destiny is murdering in the name of God. You making up your own stuff. I just read to you the definitions of manifest destiny in the opening. Why are you making up your own stuff? Manifest destiny is an ideology that a colonizer adopts the moment he get in that ship and hit sea. So for you to say that those 13 colonies wasn't white guys under the ideological systems of manifest destiny shows your ignorance. Because those 13 colonies expanded their territory westward from Virginia and all that, Philadelphia, and they did it with the doctrine of manifest destiny. Now, when you say that the DOD, the doctrine of discovery, that doctrine is based upon discovering something that's already been discovered under the guise that it's our land, because the people there, they aren't even human. So when the colonizer came to your land and saw colored people on it, he looked at you like the deers, the rabbits, the frogs. He was like, hey, we found new land. He didn't even look at you like a human. He looked at you like some other creature that I need to shoot at to run off the land and get what I want. So you just like an animal that came with the land. And they even told you that when they enslaved you, you 3/4 of a human. But all of this is the mindset of manifest destiny. This is the white man doing what thou wilt, exercising his willpower under another group, on another group, and justifying it with the Bible by saying this group wronged our God, so they deserve this punishment. And you turn around and teach the same thing to your people when you say, yes, black people, the reason the white man doing all this to you is because you disobeyed God. But when the white man hanging us on the tree, he disobeying God. God said, thou shalt not kill. And ain't nobody do more killing than the white man when he was throwing our babies to crocodiles, Emmett Till, and castrating dudes and lynching them in the street. He's been killing us for over 400 years. Mercy with no mercy, according to you. And God ain't intervened yet. That's my thing. My thing is, how is God going to stand by and allow these people to manifest their destiny and not intervene when they're more evil than us? And you ain't dealing with that. And you don't know what manifest destiny is. And you really thought that I was talking about painting the face black. That is horrible, man. You're doing a horrible job. So we can't stop this. So this God can only stop this when he feel like our time is up. And y'all say that when God come back, he gonna destroy the white man with thermonuclear bombs. But before that, y'all gonna kiss his feet first. Share my screen, Sarnetta, because God coming back to destroy this white man with nuclear bombs. But before he do it, you know they got to get their feet kissed first. Now, Captain Tazaryach said that they ask white people what their daddy is. So before a white person kiss y'all feet, you say, wait a minute, don't bend down first. Tell me who your dad is before you kiss this corn now. Before you bend down and kiss this boot, what's your daddy's? What's your daddy nationality? Okay, you can kiss it. He can't kiss it because his daddy, right? You say your daddy was Jamaican. No, you can't kiss my boot. None of this don't make no sense. Why would you want to kiss from your enemy? This is a romantic gesture. This is the ISUPK getting a boot kissed, and they ain't asking this woman about her daddy's side. And that proves my point that these dudes be lying and that they deceivers. Why would you even want to kiss from your enemy anyway? This is weirdo stuff. It's almost like a foot fetish on some fetish type stuff. That ain't even the oppressor. Get a Klan member to kiss your feet. Get a real oppressor white dude to kiss your feet, and not these flamboyant white guys and women that would do it anyway. That look like she like it. So my whole thing is, he don't know what manifest destiny is. He think that it's killing in the name of your God, when that's just one aspect to it. It's really an ideology that you can take stuff that don't belong to you because it's God's will and it's fulfilling prophecy. But guess who wrote the prophecy? You guessed it, the people who taken everything. So
all right, Captain Tazaryach. You are up with your last and final round. Said it once again. If y'all brothers need an extra round, let me know. Y'all agree to it, and then we can do it. Here's your second round, Captain. Time will start when you're ready.
I'm not gonna share my screen right away. But when I do,
Okay.
I'll let you know. All right.
Got you.
If having white people kiss our boots is a fetish of Israelites, then my fellow guy Sinetta must be one of those too, because he got white people kissing their boots too. So it's not and the reason why I'm highlighting Sinetta is because forcing oppressors to recognize their wickedness actually counters your argument. Your argument is that we're the blackface, that we're only blaming black people, that we're only blaming black people for the crimes. But if we're making white people, men and women, Jewish, except I got my boot kissed by an African in a club in Texas. Got my boot kissed. And if we're doing that, then obviously we're holding someone else accountable for the crimes that they've committed. So again, when you make the argument, even when you say that they're not getting punished, white people is on drugs too. Let's not act like only black people are on drugs, only black people kill, only black people abort babies, only black people are homosexuals on the LGBT community. All races are. Here's the difference. The children of Israel was told not to do it. So when we go out on these street corners, I'm gonna read a couple of verses so we can understand the difference between us. Oh, wait, and let me point this out. I told y'all he was going to niggerize blackface and manifest destiny. And he corrected himself, because when I said the 13 colonies, he thought he had a point. But when I said the 13 colonies got it from Doctrine of Discovery, what did he say? The 13 colonies just copied it from the mind state that they already had. So he proved my point. My point in saying the 13 colonies didn't copy Manifest Destiny was to show that the 13 colonies was established under the Crusades and the Doctrine of Discovery. Manifest Destiny was the last thing to occur. I'm surgical. When you pick a title, you can't niggerize the title that you picked. You have to go by what it says. When I'm saying blackface, I ain't talking about putting no damn black skin on your face. I'm talking about emulation, even shame, if you want. So you have to show, which you did not. You have not shown first how, when they say that they got their manifest destiny from God, you have not shown a book, chapter, or verse that they got it from God. So if they didn't get it from God, that means they made it up themselves. What we do and what we got directly from the scriptures. So, for example, when you say why we can't get out, what's our position? If I was to read John 11:45, let's use the Bible, since nobody else want to use the Bible except me. John 11:45 says, "Then many of the Jews which came to Mary had seen the things which Jesus did and believed on him." What was Christ teaching back then? For Israel to repent from their wickedness so that we could rule. And here's the biggest problem, Sanchez, of people like you, people like the House of Consciousness, not necessarily Sinetta, people like Muslims, people like Christians. Here's the problem with all of y'all. I'm going to read it. John 11:46. But some of them went on their way to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, "What do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation." So the same way our own people betrayed Christ is the same way y'all betray us. Everybody claim to love some God or some deity or some type of prophet or something like that, but don't nobody want to do what God said. And that's the biggest problem. I'm going to keep reading. If I read Isaiah, let me read Isaiah 59:1. It says, "Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither heavy that it cannot hear, but your iniquities have separated from you and your God." Now I'm directly answering what he say his version of our blackface is. So why do we go on the street corners and tell black people you're the problem? Because if you can recognize the problem, especially if you're the problem, you can fix the problem. Even Michael Jackson had a song called I'm Starting with the Man in the Mirror. How can we go to the first of all, let me say this first. Don't know the only other group that I could think that talks about the white man more than us is Muslims. Don't nobody condemn white people more than Israelites. Nobody. So you can't even use the argument, because as they were going out to do manifest destiny, they wasn't condemning their own people to empower their own people. They was going out raping and pillaging under that doctrine of discovery. Whereas opposed to us, we is not condemning our people to join white people. We condemning our people because we're still joining white people. No matter what amount of oppression has been done, we still try to find, right now, black people and Hispanic people are trying to find ways to either vote for Trump or Kamala Harris, where we're trying to say, let's not vote at all. Let's just stop being drug dealers. Let's stop being murderers. Let's stop being thieves. Let's stop hating each other. That's what God said. Christ said, no, the laws of God hinge on these two things: love thy God with all thy might, soul, and strength, and to love your brother as thyself. Ain't nobody teaching that but the Israelites. And that's why we're still in this condition. Everybody wants God to come down and hold them by the hand. Y'all want to be puppets. But here where I tell you that you are puppets. Blacks and Hispanics are puppets for the white man. Israelites are not puppets for the white man. If Israelites was puppet for the white man, we would be pushing the same agenda as them. Because the white man says you're criminals too, and you still use a drug. The white man says you're criminals too, and you still murder, and you still kill, you still celebrate his holidays, you still vote. No matter what the white man calls out on your wickedness. They just killed Sonia Massey. A New York senator just said to shoot black people, and black people are still thinking that white people are the way. You know who's saying white people aren't the way? Us. You know who's condemning black people for trusting white people? Us. So how can we be the black face teaching white supremacy or trying to get black people to be on the white man's side when we're condemning black people for joining the white man? You, my brother, have done a horrible job of trying to show how black Israelites are the black face of manifest. Look at you talking in my time. Don't talk. Shut your mouth. We don't want to hear no ad libs, no nothing. No nothing. Don't talk during my time. So what you have shown is absolutely nothing that says that we are the black face of emulation, niggerize, any form of fashion of manifest destiny. You didn't even know where it came from. With that, I yield my time, sir.
No, I made a mistake. You got 2 minutes. I hit it at 6 minutes.
Okay, my bad. No sweat. No problem. So I'm gonna read more. So now this is Ezekiel 18 and 20. And this is I'm glad you said that. This is Ezekiel, the 18th chapter. This is so important because Ezekiel 18 says, the word of the Lord came unto me saying, what mean ye that ye use the proverb concerning Israel, saying, the fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge? To eat a sour grape is to eat spoiled food. And that's what our fathers have done. All of our fathers have done wickedness against God. But now the children are set on edge. But you know what the children can do? It says, as I live, saith the Lord, you shall not have occasion to use this proverb. Because now that we have the spirit of the Lord, my father was a straight up heroin addict. So by generation, I should be a heroin addict. By generation, I should be a deadbeat dad like my father was. But I use the word of the Lord to then go and show that, no, I ain't got to be a heroin addict. I can reject that drug that the white man put in our community. I can condemn drug dealers that sell the drugs of the white man. By his logic, we shouldn't condemn black people for selling drugs. We should just condemn the white man. How can you condemn the message without condemning the messenger? And in that analogy, the white man is giving that message to the drug dealer to sell to us. So I'm going to condemn the drug dealer and the white man. You know why? because I don't want my children, my brothers, my sisters, my aunties, my uncles to have to suffer drug addiction. I don't want them to suffer abortion. I don't want them to suffer ills in the community, starvation. I don't want them to suffer in the black community no more. So if I go to the community and say, yeah, it's all the white man's fault, you know what the community gonna say? I don't see the white man in my community. I see black people in my community. That's usually the argument we get. The argument we get is that we are our own worst enemy. And what we show is the real enemy is the white man. John 8:44, Christ said, ye are of your father, the devil. And black people can be of their father, the devil. I yield.
Netta, let's do I want to know if Cap agreed to another another 5-minute round. We said in the beginning, if you wanted to do another round, we could. So I'm saying, yeah, let's do another little 5-minute spar.
That all right with you, Captain?
Aren't we about to do a back and forth?
But before the back and forth,
but before the back and forth.
Okay, I'm cool with 5 minutes.
Appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna start mine right now. You lied, brother. You said I want to just condemn the white man when I was clear to agree with you, Captain. I said you were right, man. I said we got to take accountability. You don't got to pick up that gun and shoot it because the white man dropped it off. I agreed with you on that, brother. So why you lied like I just want to just condemn the white man? What I said was, if God gonna punish us for picking up the drugs and using it, he should also punish the white man for dropping it off. But the white man can do evil without punishment, and only God's people get punished. And I said you will find a way to make it why that's true, to why that's okay, to why they can do evil and not get punished. But when we do it, we all hell break loose. We've been getting tortured for 400 years, man. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Your God don't exercise his punishment and discipline equally, is what my claim was. You have low comprehension skills and you do a lot of insulting. So that's the first insult that I'm going to bring today, which is not an insult. That's clear with the way that you took the title out of context and saying that I'm niggerizing it. I'm not niggerizing it. I'm saying you're the black face of a white agenda. And I don't know how simple you want me to make that, but that is what it is. You said that the something about the 13 colonies, and all I said was that the 13 colonies, they want to expand it from the east to the west without the mindset of manifest destiny. That was them manifesting their destiny. The Indians didn't want them to expand their territory, but they didn't care what the natives wanted. They was going by manifest destiny. They thought it was God's will. The people that set up colonies on the East Coast, those Britain colonies, they came over here with the mindset of manifest destiny. So for you to say that came later, you were wrong. These people are born with the mindset of a colonizer from a child. That ain't nothing they pick up later when they get in their 20s and 30s. Oh, you know what? Manifest destiny, the idea that this land is mine because my God promised it, and the people who there, we don't even consider them human. You think they picked that up overnight? They raised that way, brother. You're just wrong. You're wrong, wrong, wrong. You didn't show up. You shouldn't have drunk nothing before this debate, because that might have what messed you up too, along with you choosing this title. So that's all I wanted with those 5 minutes, just to really ask you, like, why are you saying that? And then I also wanted to point out the fact that y'all say we don't serve God. That's why the white man shooting us down in the street and all that. Then you bring up Sonya Massey. What did she do wrong for that police officer to kill her? She didn't do nothing wrong. Y'all keep on saying Israelites getting oppressed because we disobedient to God. That was a black Christian woman that still got shot, calling out on the name of her God and rebuking the devil that y'all speak of. And she still got shot. And y'all will say, well, that's because we being disobedient to God. I don't think Israelites should even bring up Sonya Massey, because they teaching we going through all of this because we was disobedient. That's why George Floyd got shot down in the street. It's his fault, because his people turned away. We can't blame the white man for nothing, because Sanchez is promoting us being a victim-minded people and not taking accountability. when I'm saying we should take accountability and they should take accountability for what their people are doing to ours too. We tell the so-called good white people all the time, why don't y'all check these bad white folks? Just like if there's any good police officers, y'all ain't good if you ain't standing up to them bad officers that shot Sonia Massey, that killed George Floyd. Ain't none of you good then. So that's what I'm saying, that if we gonna have accountability and tell our bad people to be good, why don't they gotta have accountability and tell they bad people quit dropping off guns in them people ghettos, quit dropping off drugs there? Tazaryach, I really want you to explain that to me, because that don't make no sense, bro. Why we got to take accountability and they don't? And why did God punish us for doing bad but not them? You never touched on that. You using the Bible, but you can't even go to the Bible and answer that. And I bet you ain't gonna answer that when you get the flow. And I'm gonna ask you again, why do we the only ones got to have accountability, and why don't God punish them how he punish us? We'll wait. We'll wait. I'm done. Let him answer that, Sarnetta.
All right, Captain, your 5 minutes to start when you're ready.
Hey, you can start it now. Hey, I'm gonna be in Detroit Wednesday. No, I'm leaving Wednesday to go to Detroit. I'm gonna be there for a couple of days. We having our annual cookout. I'm gonna be making my body butter as soon as this debate is over, after we do a third round. And I think I'm gonna pull my belt out that y'all see back there. Those are just some of the things I was thinking about why he was wasting the time with this goddamn 5 minutes that he just talked about. He just brought up them 13 colonies. The 13 colonies, let me see. The 13 colonies was established in 1607 to 1732. Manifest Destiny is recorded 1861. So what did they have before Manifest Destiny? The Crusades and the doctrine of discovery. That's their historical timeline. They didn't say that they used that. When you talk about the white man, this one, I think you don't know what we teach. If I read Psalms 58:1, it says the wicked are estranged from the womb. That's what we teach about the white man. We don't teach that there's good white people. You know who teach that there's good white people? Christians. That's why Sonia was comfortable enough to call the police. We would have taught her, if Israelites was ruling, she wouldn't have to call the police. She would just call us. We don't teach that there's good white people. We clearly say, it says, this is Psalms 58. It says, I'm sorry, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. The biggest problem of black people in America and the real black face of Manifest Destiny is black Christianity, because black Christianity has continuously taught us. You know, when we go out there and argue against white people, you know what they say? Well, you know, it was some white people that was with us during slavery. You know, it was some people that marched for rights. You know, it was some white people that did this. Christians always look for a good white man. We do not look for a good white man. It was either Muhammad Ali or Malcolm made an excellent point. If I got 1,000 snakes coming at my door, and 800 of those snakes are non-poisonous, and 200 of those snakes are poisonous, do I keep the door open to let the 800 in and sift out the 200, or do I close the door on everybody? And he was right when he said he closed the door on all the snakes. So we don't teach black people to trust white people. We teach them that we are at war with white people. That's why they can do what they did to George Floyd. And you know what they did? You know what Christians taught us? To still love white people. After the Sonia Massey incident, they're gonna teach us to still love white people. When Kai Gurley got killed, teach us to still love white people. Black Christians would be the perfect one for this title, because they are the black face. They promote love your enemy no matter what. That ain't in the Bible. When Christ said turn the other cheek, that was an Israelite and another Israelite, aka black on black crime. When you say that I don't talk about why the white man ain't punished, you clearly don't listen, because I said that in the beginning of the second round. I said that they are punished as well. They on drugs, they in jail. The same afflictions that we go through is what they go through. Here's the only difference. We pray to them for our salvation. We don't pray to no God for our salvation. If I was to read Exodus 2:23, it says, and it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of bondage, and they cried, and their cry came unto God by reason of their bondage, and God heard their groaning. We don't cry to God when we go in our condition. We don't cry. If we do cry, when we say, now I lay me down to sleep, we think of white Jesus, because that's what we have embedded in our brain. And then who's the enemy of black people if it ain't white people? We are. The Israelites become the enemies to black people, not because we telling them not to believe in Jesus, not because we telling them not to believe in God, but that we have the balls to say that our God is the nigger God. Like, who's the God of the niggas? Somebody let me know. Every nation got a God that looks like them except us. And then we want the God that ain't for us. How you praying to the white man's God that made the white man great, and then think you're going to pray to that same God to make you great when the white man trying to conquer you? That's what war is. And if we don't understand the plays and ways of war, we will never win. That's why we get shot. That's why we get hung. That's why we get lynched. Israelites ain't getting shot, hung, and lynched. I'm done.
All right, man. We are here at the Q&A right now. How we gonna do this Q&A? Let me see. How we gonna do this? Who's speaking?
Well, you can tell us how we doing. I was gonna say I got a question for Cap.
Yeah, you can start. I think as long as we can allow each other to answer the question, I don't mind you starting. Even if you ask, I don't even hold to where it got to necessarily be question for question. It's just an open dialogue. So you may ask two questions back to back, and I'll answer them. And then when I want to get in there, and vice versa, like that.
All right, cool.
Okay, no, I'll put up the clock and just let y'all flow right quick. Let y'all talk.
My first question is, how is it punishment for the white man to be doing drugs and all that when everything he got us hooked on and caught up in, it been that way in his culture, according to the teachers I've heard, Khalid Muhammad and all them said it's heathen been doing that. So it ain't really punishment to him. It's just the way he been living anyway. They been doing this stuff. This they way of life. So I don't think that that's a good example of them. That's punishment to them because they doing all that and they ruling the world. We doing all that and it got us at the bottom because it never stopped them because it was their way of life to begin with. So could you give me another way that they may be being punished to make that argument? Because I don't think that one is we really can't go with that one. You see what I'm saying? No.
The reason why we can go with that one is because, and here's why Israelites is so needed with our wisdom. The white man counted the cost of being a homosexual, drug addict, murderer, thief. That's his nature. He counted the cost. You know who didn't count the cost? Black people trying to emulate what the white man did, because our spirits are not the same. We don't have the murdering capacity, the drug addict capacity, the homosexual capacity. We don't have the capacity that they have because we're too compassionate. So at some point it comes, look at our community. And again, as I spoke about the war, when the white man in the 70s, when they started putting drugs real heavy, they focused on two types. They focused on us and they focused on hippies. Hippies was their own people. So they don't even mind destroying their own people. We don't see the play coming. Our biggest hippies were white people. Hippies wasn't black.
But white people rejected them because of they were traitors according to them because they had sex.
But that's my point.
Races.
But wait, no. My point ain't whether they was traitors or not. My point is that they didn't mind killing their own people, which is letting you know their spirit of murder is not our spirit of murder. Because we have an innate, like Romans 10:1 says, we have a zeal for God, but not according. You gotta let me finish because I'm gonna get to it. We have a zeal. Got you. We have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. So we do. But you know what happens as we murder, when white people murder each other, you ain't never seen them try to solve that problem. They not. But we trying to solve the problem of gangster disciples, vice lords. We trying to solve the problem of Bloods and Crips. We trying to solve the problem of the gangs on my
Now,
side.
now let me interject with you back and forth.
No, that's fine.
I don't think our culture, our music genre, hip hop and all that is doing a good job of solving it. I don't think the way our presence is on social media at the time is doing a good job of solving it either, with all these brothers dying left and right with the pull-up culture and all that. So I say if the Hebrews are trying to solve it, cool. But if you try to speak for the black race, I'm disappointed. I don't think we trying hard enough to solve it. I think we promote a lot of this fuckery, and that is what I do agree with what the Hebrews do when y'all call them out for promoting the fuckery. Like I told you, I agree with accountability, but I think the oppressor need to be accountable too. I think your God is the God of the oppressor. I think when I listen to the Hebrews and the doctrine as a child, I would walk away saying, my God hate me, because why would he empower someone that's more evil to punish me for evil and stuff? That means he ain't holding them accountable, but holding me accountable.
Let me get in there, because when you say the child would say that, right? There ain't no Bible verse that the God of the oppressor is the God of the Bible first. And then I noticed when I've been talking about accountability this whole time. And when you just spoke just now, you said you don't see nobody in hip hop. You don't see nobody on social media. And that's the problem. Hip hop is not the answer for black people's problems. Social media is not the answer for social media's problems. And you just lost this debate when you said that's one thing I agree with you, Hebrews, when y'all against that. So if you agree with us that we're against that and we're holding them accountable, the debate was the black face because we're blaming black people, but then you just agreed for us condemning them and blaming them for falling for it. You just did it. Wait, I'm gonna be done. Yeah, no, but let me just finish it. Give me like 15 more seconds. So
gotcha.
When you look to hip hop to solve the problem, social media to solve the problem, and you reject the Israelites, you are the problem, Sanchez. You and the likes of you are the problem, because just like Malcolm X said, I'm gonna be done right here. Just like Malcolm X said when he was alive in the 60s, he said America is using actors to be the voice of black people. When you never see actors and entertainers the voice for white people, but you just brought up hip hop and social media. You got it.
Check this out. I never said I'm looking for them. I said our people is looking for them, which is why I agree with y'all for going in on them looking toward this toxic things. I'm saying I agree with Hebrew Israelites. Hold on. You see how he cut me off now, sir? Let you go. It ain't no just loss.
Let him speak. Let him speak, Captain.
I'm agreeing. Don't get mad because I won this debate, bro. Check it out, right? I've been winning it the whole thing. You ain't finna pull a miracle in a closing. You've been mistaking what I'm saying out of context the whole show. People see that. What I said was I agree with accountability, but it gotta go both ways. You keep missing that part. My whole thing about you not holding a white man accountable for him hanging us is you pushing manifest destiny. It's okay. I ain't mad at you holding blacks accountable for us doing wrong. But when you give the whites a pass for them wronging us, you helping them push the manifest destiny. Because y'all are our black soldiers, right? Y'all on the front line. If you going to hold your people accountable and go that hard against these sisters in the street, you should go that hard against the oppressor, as far as your God holding them accountable. Not just you, but your God too. Your God should be equally punishing this white man just like we getting punished. That's why I said your God ain't a God of equality. He don't believe in I'm gonna punish everybody equally for their wrongdoing. Your God believe in I'm just gonna beat my children ass for doing bad, and I don't care about nobody else, even if they children is beating on my children. I'm sorry, if your children beating on my children, now I gotta touch your children. And out of your own mouth, you said God ain't pleased with what the white man doing to us because he ain't using mercy. So why won't God stop it? If God said, I want them to punish y'all, but you be merciful to them, and now they ain't being merciful, and God keep letting them do it, even though He ain't pleased with it at this moment.
Two
Why
things you're
don't He?
wrong with. Two things. I want to respond to that, and then after the response, before you go again, I just want to play a video. You keep saying we're not holding white people accountable. I challenge you to show where we have never held white people accountable. And I'm gonna show a video to prove my point. So 2 Corinthians 10:1, I can only answer with scriptures, right? That's the best way to answer this. And this is all about accountability, and this is war that we're in. Like, we're at war with white people. So when a black man kills a black man, he gets locked up, he goes to jail. But when a white man does anything to us, that is an act of war. And if black people could understand that concept, they would know how to strategize in their dealings with white people. White people are not our friends. White people are our enemies. No matter what economic building you do with them, they are an absolute enemy. So 2 Corinthians 10:4 says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God. That's our power. Even in the book of Judith, our enemies said, if they sinning against their God, we'll beat them. If they're obeying their God, we'll lose. That's our power. It says, having in readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. We want God to save us, the God that we believe in. We keep asking why He won't save us, why He won't do this. But when we start telling people, you can't eat pork, you can't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, you can't marry a white woman, you can't marry a white man, you can't vote, you can't celebrate Christmas, you can't celebrate Thanksgiving, they fight us on the very things that we're being disobedient to the God that we say we love. So you can't ask that. Wait, but now I'll stop right there, but can I play a video real fast? I just want to play a video.
The confusion is white people doing everything you just said, and they got favor with God. He put them in their oppressor position, but even they more evil than us.
Here's the greatest thing white people have over us: unity. Black people have no unification. As bad as the Democrats and Republicans argued with each other, when them towers fell, they killed 11 million of them Palestinians. Because that happened to this. I want to get to this video though, but I didn't want to not answer your question.
Let's go to the video.
Right, so let me just finish it up. So the white man knows how to unify against us. Democrats and Republicans can beef with each other, but they know that their policies would never benefit black people over the Republicans. A Democrat is never trying to have a black person over a Republican and vice versa. But black people will unify and have a white person over another black person. That's the biggest problem from black people.
I think the biggest problem with black people is that we all waiting on some kind of sky daddy to come crack the clouds and save us. And the Democrats and Republicans have a system of oppression that ensures their children going to be at the top in the next generation, while we got a bunch of Bibles and books and dudes that believe in sky daddies and mythologies for saviors. We're looking, I think our people got a Messiah complex, while everybody else, they know how to strategize and plan and create systems of oppression to get done what they want done. And when these people strategize and plan, our people are being taught that what we going through is the will of God, when it's really the strategies of our oppressor.
Well, you're gonna have to make up your mind. You're gonna have to make up your mind, because when I see black people, all they trying to do is fit and find more ways to fit in America. But I do want to play this video, right? Because when you say we're not holding white people accountable, right? You had played that video of IFCBK. That was Minnesota, that boot kiss. I just want to show this boot kiss real fast. Hold on, where's this boot kiss at? I want to show this is in Minnesota during the George Floyd.
So funny. Let me show this boot kiss.
That's right. This is now when y'all looking at this video right here. This is in Minnesota as we're out there condemning white people for what happened to George Floyd. And I want to show this. In the middle of this, you're going to see this white woman, and I want to show you what happens. And this is the psychology of black people and what we fight against, right? I'm going to show you. Now, as we in this video about to get this white woman, I'm going to skip up because I don't want to take too much time. This white man, right? Those black people that are surrounding are like, we can't blame these white men. We can't blame. I'm going to stop it because, I don't want to take up too much time with it. So those black people are saying that we cannot blame white people for that. Y'all, you didn't see the video, sir?
Play it again while you talking, but just play it on mute. We can watch
Okay,
it.
all right, no problem. I'll do that. So let me share it again. Hold on, let me present it again. Si, you muted. I can't hear you, Si.
Yeah, you ain't tell me share screen. Now I see it.
Oh,
okay,
okay. Hold on, wait, hold on. Let me do it now. Hold on. All right. No, not that one. ISCBK, this one. I just shared it. You got it now?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna mute it though, like you said, Sanchez. I'm gonna mute it. So I'm gonna just bring it back a little bit and play it while I'm talking. So in this video, in Minnesota, when George Floyd died, we're out there condemning the white man. This white man comes and wants to get on his boots. Them black people that you see surrounding us is fighting us because we're condemning the white man. And that's the biggest problem. You said you ain't got nothing to do with it. This is my.
No, I say I don't agree with those black folks that's mad because and defending them. Like,
thank you, but wait. I'm glad you said it, but let me just get this out because you just lost the debate again. You said we're the blackface. You said we're the blackface of manifest destiny, but you disagree with those black people that's against us. When we're out there condemning white people for what they did to us. And go ahead, please tell me how you agree with us even more and lost this debate. Go ahead.
Because listen, I hate the people so much that hung my people on a tree. They wouldn't even be able to kiss my boot. I might kick them in the face when they've been down there. I don't want no kiss from my enemy on my feet, on my ankle, on my leg, on my thigh, on my nothing part of my body. You can keep your kisses. I don't care about the white man acknowledging his evil. I care about him stop being evil, because him acknowledging his evil ain't gonna make him stop being evil. And I think they already know that they evil as hell. So you ain't making them acknowledge nothing. They know that they evil as hell. But you
agree that you was against those black women. Excuse me, those black people that was against us. Because
I'm telling you why, because I
get the why. I agree with, but see, I agree.
I don't think you ought to defend it, even if you agree or disagree with it. I don't think they should. That's them people lips and that's your boots. They ain't got nothing to do with that.
But they ain't doing that because of the boot. See, but they ain't doing that because of the boot kiss. That's what you saying. They're doing that because we're condemning white people. You see how you said you don't need the boot kiss? In a sense, I agree. I don't necessarily. I'm not one that if I'm at camp that I go for a boot kiss. I don't. But if my brothers do, I understand it because of the psychology that it does for our people, because they're fighting us because they still desire to love white people. You know who don't desire to love white people? Israelites. Israelites have no desire to love white people, so it's impossible for us to be the blackface. But those people in that video, they were the blackface of white supremacy, of manifest destiny.
I want to say this too. All of the boot kiss videos I see, I never see those white boys that really hate black folks kiss y'all feet. I see nice white women, little soft white boys, but I don't see none of them Harley Davidson riders like that police that killed George Floyd. Now, if y'all can get some of them good old white boys to bend down and kiss your feet, Sanchez will stand there with you. Now, I probably become a Hebrew, you do that. If you can get one of these racist white dudes that hate niggas, see, because them the ones we want to do it. Because think about it. I'm going to be honest. That white woman probably attracted to y'all. And I ain't gonna lie, like a lot of these folks I see kiss the boot, they look like they want to do it or something. They just look like they're so friendly. But the white man that really hate us, he will never kneel down and do that. And if y'all were to make him do that,
let me up the ante. Let me up the ante for you.
Go ahead, man. I'll listen to you.
Because Christ says, my people looking for a sign. And that's so what you just said. You said you need to see a cat with Harley Davidson kiss the boot in order for you to be an Israelite. Right. Your Harley Davidson type white supremacist to kiss the boot, and then you'll be an Israelite. But all the murder of black people, all the crime committed against black people, all the aborted babies, the homosexuality, the rampant systematic oppression on black people ain't enough for you to see to be an Israelite. You love white people too, because you'll be impressed when a white supremacist white man kissed the boots, but you don't look at the oppression of black people to want to go out and actively fix that problem. That's what I saw.
I do.
I didn't listen. I didn't need the white man kissing my boot. What I saw was oppression being put on my people, and Christianity was too soft. Islam was too soft, but the Israelites freed me and taught me I did not have to love the white man at all. I could hate that bastard, deal with him economically, stuff like that, and love my people more, and that freed me.
And you still can have all that hate from him, but want a kiss from him. I know how it is.
Once again, you missing the point. The boot kiss is not for us.
It's a kiss, bro.
I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to teach you something.
I don't care.
The kiss is not
them. It's the kiss.
It is. Who is the them? Who is the them?
I don't care who it's for.
I'm asking you who is the them.
Keep your kisses.
That's why listening is why listening is an art. Because the them is not white people. The them is black people, because black people respect white people so much. Like, you want the white supremacist, but it wasn't a white supremacist. You want the Harley Davidson white supremacist biker type, right? But it wasn't that type of guy that made them black people turn on us. It was just a white person, period. Because in the mentality, the Stockholm syndrome that black people suffer, it doesn't matter what type of white person it is. Every type of white person makes a black. When black people see white people in pain, they in pain. What did Malcolm say?
Hey.
We sick, boss. That's
now
black
let me
people.
holler at you for a minute. I'm from Bama, right? In the South, you do got good white folks that they just
look at him.
Like,
you see what he says, son? He believes they're good white folk.
Why can't I talk, bro?
My bad,
I let you talk. Obviously, you do too, because when I saw this boot kit video, they was clapping, saying, hey, man, she's a good white woman. Maybe she will find favor in the kingdom. I watched several of these boot kisses where when the person kissed the boot, the Israelites clap for them as if we'll accept your apology. They smiling and smile. It don't look like y'all hate them. So listen to me. Don't play the game about when I say good white people. What I'm saying when I say good white people, I should say submissive. And what I mean is you got white folks that's being oppressed by white folks, like you said. And I'm saying that the white folks that's being oppressed by white folks are the ones kissing y'all boots, but not the oppressor. We got beef with the oppressor, not the oppressed. Share my screen, Sarnetta. This white woman on this video, she ain't no oppressor. She being oppressed. That's my point right there. Now, my thing is there are a group of powerful white people that are oppressing everybody. And I was just saying, if you can get one of them to bow down, that'll look a certain way to me. I'm not saying that I'm not impressed that you getting anybody to bow down, because I ain't gonna lie. Nigga can't make me get on my knees, and y'all making these. That's why I said something about these people, like they're those kind of white folks. But I want to move past the boot kissing thing, because I can agree.
Can I just say one more thing before you move past it? I'll be 20 seconds. The only thing I want to say is, when he said we said a good white person, that's a white person that by his own words said is submitting to us. His form of a good white person ain't doing no submitting of any kind as a gesture or otherwise to black people. We can move forward now. What you got?
All right, so you was going in on the black church, man. I'm from the Bible Belt. I grew up in the black
wait.
church.
I got a sidebar question, Sanchez. And this is just a personal question I wanted to ask you because your name is Sanchez. Are you ethnically black or like you mixed? I only ask because
I'm all black, but my first name, I'm embarrassed by it. It's actually my first name is Broderick. I don't know if you ever heard that name. It's kind of a mouthful. Broderick, right? Broderick.
Okay.
And so I don't really use that name because it got joked a lot because that root word broad, like listen, I'm just telling you, like it. But
but where you get the Sanchez from? Because when I saw Sanchez, I thought you might have been like Latino some kind of way or something like that.
No, my middle name is Sanchez and my brother's middle name is Martez. So my mama was just doing a little
remix or something. I got you. Like Mercedes or something. Okay, I got it. But you can go ahead now. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Now listen,
from the Bible. You said you was from the Bible Belt.
Right. And listen, I'm no Bible thumper or Christian. But now I don't want you to get offended for what I'm about to ask you. I just want you to keep your cool, and because I'm finna stir up some smoke between the Hebrews and Black church. Brother, do you think that the Hebrew Israelites do more to unite Black? But let's say that one for later. Do you think that the Hebrew Israelites do more for Black people than the Black church?
Yes. Yes. Because
I
in
would
the beginning,
love to hear you give
in the
me
beginning,
receipts and go into that for sure. Yeah.
well, I'm not going to do what you said I was going to do, because in the beginning of the debate, you made a point to say Captain's going to show the works that they doing in the community, and
Oh,
that's not
okay.
what this
Okay.
debate is
That's
about, right?
another one in. But can we have that one just like on one of our channels, just
Yeah,
outside of
yeah,
here?
yeah.
About
But
y'all
yeah,
versus the Black church. I will come,
yeah, that
and I
might be
ain't a
something we
Christian.
could do. But here's the reason why I say more, because the Black church's foundation, no matter what work we do. So you can have Christians, Muslims, Israelites all do work, right? But this conversation is Christians and Israelites. We all do work, but both parties say that we believe in God and follow God. So the works that we do is secondary to the core belief of following God. So if we go into that Bible, there's not one thing that the Christian church does according to God. So all of their food drives, money they might give away, don't mean anything. Drug dealers do the same thing. The Christian
See,
church go to church on Sunday, that's against God. Tell you God's laws is done away with, that's against God. Say Jesus is not the Father, that's against God. Say Jesus
bro.
is God, that's against God. So when I'm trying to help you understand why I say what I'm saying. When I say we have done more, we Israelites actually teach Black people to repent for their sins. The Christian church teaches that God loves you no matter if you sin or not. And that's the ultimate point of who's right and who's wrong and who does more or less to God, because it's spiritual, it's not carnal.
Okay, I'm a stay with the title, but I definitely don't want you to run from that one in the future though about this Black church. Yeah, I ain't gonna linger on it too long. I'll let
Mm-hmm.
you get the last word on that. We
Mm-hmm.
can start our closing so I can sum up why I think I won this debate.
Okay,
I'm
that's fine.
anxious to let them know
Yeah,
why
I
I
know
think
you're
I
anxious
won.
to lie to him again, but you got it. Go
I've
ahead,
been
Si. We
showing
going
receipts. Yeah.
You ain't showed a receipt yet, brother. But Si, you got it.
Yeah, yo, man. Powerful brother Sanchez, of course, and Captain Tazaryach. Good, powerful conversation between both of y'all. We're gonna go into the 5-minute closing. Let me see. Brother Sanchez, y'all had, let me show you. Let me show y'all. Y'all had 24 minutes of dialogue going back and forth.
Excellent.
That's what's up.
So
Gave the people some extra.
right there. That's what y'all had. 24
Excellent.
minutes. So that's good. So we're gonna go into the 5 minutes of closing. Are y'all good for the after party to see the people could come in and ask y'all questions or what? Y'all could come
When you
give them
say after party, you talk about not on this live. I'm assuming I would join your
on
live.
the YouTube where everybody
Yeah,
could join in.
long as you don't have a problem with me mixing butters, I don't have a problem doing
No,
that.
no, I ain't got no problem with that
Okay.
because now
All right.
y'all can move around.
Right.
And you know, if
We ain't got
somebody
to
comes,
get up and run from somebody talking. Yeah.
yeah, they say I got a question
Listen,
for Tazaryach,
I,
then you come back over and answer the question.
Right.
Same way.
I'm gonna be at the after party, but I might run a little late because after I get off of here, I'm gonna go grab me a bite to eat, scarf it down. I'm gonna hop right back on your.
All right, that's good. That's
Right.
good. All right, man. Sanchez,
Yeah.
you got 5 minutes in your closure, brother.
Okay, so listen, the title was Are the Hebrews the Black Face of Manifest Destiny? Not what are the Hebrews doing to help Black people? Because you can help Black people and still be the face of an agenda and not be worried. You might not know that, you know. And the way that I said that they're the black face, and when I said black face, he tried to do his definition of it. But in my closing, I'm gonna clarify exactly what I meant. If somebody say, Sanchez, you are the face of flat earth. Okay, they saying I'm the face of a whole movement or ideology. if they say, Sanchez, you the black face of flat earth, they saying that there are several different ethnicities of flat earthers, and Sanchez represent the black version of it. I'm telling the Hebrews, they are the black spokesman for white, for manifest destiny ideologies to black people, because whites can't do that themselves. So why don't we see white groups in our streets trying to justify their oppression? Because they got black groups doing it for them. And the black church do it too. But what I was telling him is, when it comes to who doing the most for the people, I think the Hebrews ain't even been around long enough to even try to talk about competing with the black church. And I don't even rock with the black church, but I just think that's some of the reaching that they do, though, and some of the ego that they got. And then they turn around and say, our people's so divided, but look at how they be talking against the black church and the other religious groups. If I ask Tazaryach right now, are the ISUPK the only group with the for black people? He'll say, yeah. If it ain't up under General Yohana, it ain't the word of God. It ain't what our people need. That's what they say. They think they the only group with the answer, man. And that's some egotistical stuff. Everybody got a piece of the puzzle. And when everybody come together and we all work together, like them Democrats and Republicans he talked about, because they united under one common goal, and that's the greater good of their people. When they go up there and fight each other, they ain't really fighting. They just want us to get divided and fight. They fake fighting, but we be for real, though. Families be split up over these politicians. Black folks are split up with different religions, man. You got Hebrews, Moors, the black church, all these groups, and all these groups ain't the problem. It's just that each group think that they right and the other one wrong. And that's why I said that Hebrews ain't no difference. All of these black groups are so egotistical, they'll never come together. So when you talk about the Hebrews promoting unity, I'm going to say that, man, y'all turn off a lot of these other black groups because y'all have a like holier than thou mentality. So that was one thing that I wanted to say. But as I close out, I wanted to say I did show up today and prove that the Hebrews push manifest destiny. How do they do it? Manifest destiny is the idea that the suffering of these indigenous people is God's will because they was disobedient to God or they worship pagan gods. When I was young, I would ask pastors, why those children in Africa suffering? They will say, because they don't serve the true God. They turned away from our God. And now the Hebrews telling that to us, that the reason we're suffering is because we didn't serve God. So God appointed this oppressor over us, even though this oppressor don't serve God and don't keep none of the commandments. But God will make him ruler of the world. And that's the part where I won. Because if the message that the Hebrews got would make a white supremacist guy who practices manifest destiny so happy, he would say, whoo, we don't got to say it. They saying it. That the reason they being oppressed because they turned away from God. What you think they was telling the slaves on the plantation? They wasn't telling them the reason you being oppressed because that white man evil and he don't see you as a human. They was trying to blame the victim. And that's why I said they pushing manifest destiny. A blind man can see that. That's why it was an easy W the moment he accepted the title. So my thing is this right here. A white man don't gotta justify why he oppressing you. The Hebrews do it. And they give you the same reason the slave master gave you, because you're being disobedient to God. Not because the slave master evil as hell and he's a damn monster who think that other folks' stuff belong to him. When he take them people's stuff, he gonna always tell their future generations, y'all suffering because you wasn't praising God. You ain't do right with God. But the people over you never done right with God. That's a convenient doctrine to tell your people that would make the people of manifest destiny happy. They don't gotta tell it. They used to have to, and it didn't look right. But it's very strategic to have it done through a black face. And that's why I think I won. Because
all right, Sanchez. Powerful closing on Sanchez side. Captain Tazaryach, are you ready?
Yeah. I'm
All right,
man.
you got 5 minutes in this closing, Captain. I want the people to know right now we are live over here on the HOK. As soon as y'all finish, y'all can hit this link over here. The link is in the chat, and we're gonna get this.
Text me the link because I'm gonna do it from my phone.
Okay.
Or email me the link, and then I'll just because I'm gonna come
I'll
through my
email
phone.
it to you, brother. We are live over here on the HOK. Let's go, Captain. You got 5 minutes in this round. Close it out.
I appreciate it. I suggest he actually look up what the slave master was telling the slaves during slavery. They have a slave Bible for a reason. The slave master wasn't telling them it's your fault. The slave master had a slave Bible where it says, "Master, slaves, be obedient to your masters." They actually forged the Bible, took verses out the Bible to convince black people to actually serve. The title of this battle was, "Are the Israelites the black face of manifest destiny?" And I was right when I said he would niggerize it, because that's exactly what he did. He didn't go by the definitions of blackface or manifest destiny. And when I'm saying definition, I'm not talking about it had to be verbatim, because I actually thought it would be a little better. But the blackface that he showed is saying that we blame black people for the condition and the white man oppressing us. And that's not the story of the Israelites. The story of the Israelites is to identify who we are, because black people don't know who we are, identify how we got in this condition and how we get out of this condition, and to stop loving the oppressor. If we were on the side of manifest destiny, we wouldn't stop them. You know who's on the side of manifest destiny according to his logic? White people are. Christians are. Christians are on the absolute side of manifest destiny, because right now people are saying we got to vote for Trump or we got to vote for Kamala Harris. Israelites are saying don't trust no white people, to trust us. In the back and forth, Sanchez actually said out of his mouth that hip hop music and social media is not portraying us good. Black people are still looking for entertainers to be the voice of black people. Entertainers can never be the voice of black people. Let me get my belt. Hold on one sec. Get my belt. I had this belt right on deck. I forgot I was supposed to have my belt while I was talking. Let me put this back on. Hold on. Hold this at the same time. Let me put my belt. This belt was a gift for all the ass whipping that I do. This is a legit belt. This is not a fake belt. And so in this debate, especially when Sa puts this up for replay value, I appreciate everybody that supported the House of Consciousness and Sa Neter. Make sure y'all continue to support him. Make sure you subscribe, donate to his super chat. This debate was terrible from his side. He did not show how we propagate manifest destiny for the white man. What he ended up doing was agreeing when we condemn black people for what they do. But he said that we're blackface because we condemn black people for what they do. So he got to make up his mind. Which one is it? And we condemn the white man, which he agreed when we condemn the white man. So he, in essence, he agreed with everything that we do. So this just came down to, hey, Cat, man, will you debate me too? Will you let me be a part of the echelon of men that you've destroyed to put on that trophy? So Sanchez, you're going to be somewhere right along this belt. Right along this belt, we're going to make a place for Brother Sanchez. So with that said, Sa, I'm good. I'm done. I'll definitely be clicking the link. Just email it to me so I can go ahead and join. And that's my time. Shalom. Sa, you there? I'm going to mute up, Sa, because I don't
All right, this debate is officially over. Captain Tazaryach, Brother Sanchez, powerful debate, both of y'all brothers, man. All right, we are live over here. Come on over here, y'all. Let's go get some extra lunch. We are here in the HOK.
Hey, Sa, did you email me? Sa, did you email me? Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yep. Peace and Black Power, family. Let's go.
Hey,
Come
peace,
on.
Sa. I'm coming over right now.
Email me, Sa Neter. Email me the link, Sa Neter.
Got you.